if the silver price fell from $25 to say $15, if there was a cataclysmic decline in silver, that I would probably end up having 5, 6, or 7% of my net worth in silver. My target allocation at present is 2.5%. That says a whole bunch of things. The first thing it says is that to the extent I'm wrong, it doesn't change my decision as to what to have for breakfast.
Silver Galaxy, exploring the vast universe of opportunities with Rick Rule. Embark on a cosmic journey with Rick Rule as he navigates the Silver Galaxy. In this illuminating video, discover the vast universe of opportunities within the silver market. From industrial applications to investment strategies, Rick unveils the celestial secrets of silver and provides insights into navigating the exciting terrain of the gold and silver bull market. Buckle up for a cosmic adventure with one of the industry's brightest minds, Rick Rule.
Let's take the questions in reverse order. With regards to the last question, why is the Silver Institute lying? I don't know. And I'm not, frankly, as familiar with the numbers as the person asking the question. So I'm going to have to defer to that. There is a substantial above ground inventory, silver. It's important to know that. Mm-hmm. Nobody knows the size of it. There are various guesses. But simply the fact that physical silver has been used as a store of value, a non-governmental store of value, particularly in South Asia and the Middle East for a long time. And because that silver has been used outside of government systems, it's very difficult to understand, as an example, how much silver inventory exists in private hands in South Asia, and in the Middle East and North Africa. It's important to note, too, that too many people who believe in an imminent silver squeeze look in terms of supply at silver mine supply. It's very worthy to note that at best, new mine supply from silver mine accounts for 20% of global silver production. The rest coming from byproduct production and base metals, and from a very robust scrap and recycling market. One of the interesting things about solar has been thus far that silver is so cheap that a recycling market hasn't developed in the most part with regards to silver that has been used on solar panels. Mm-hmm. It's simply at $25 isn't economic in most applications to recover the silver from scrapped solar panels. It's important to note, too, that silver at this price is so cheap that the industry has very little incentive to develop a substitute for silver in various applications that require reflectivity and frankly, the ductile properties, the fact that you can spread silver so thinly and get a uniform reflective surface. The point of all this simply is that when you go through year after year after year of supply deficit, at the same time that silver speculators are getting more and more and more disappointed, that pop in silver that attracted them is getting closer to occurring. People want certainty. Unfortunately, with regards to silver, certainty is in short supply. Nobody really understands what the above ground inventory is because so much of it is privately and closely held. Nobody understands very much about the price points that will be necessary to encourage substitution should the silver price go up. The silver speculator, because, as an example, during the Reddit silver squeeze, had such high and immediate expectations, looks at this uncertainty and they look at the lack of price movement, and they suggest to themselves that silver is dead. That's wrong. What is right is that their time expectations, their time preferences are not a fundamental. They're a personal preference. I guess it's easy at age 70, having been rewarded once every 10 or 15 years for 50 years by extravagant, exorbitant, luxurious moves in the price of silver and silver securities, that I can be very, very, very sanguine. Mm-hmm. I think it's important to note, too, I love assets that are hated. So to the extent that silver has disappointed its adherents, every time I read a negative post about silver, particularly from somebody who is posting about it positively 2 years ago or 3 years ago, when it was at least perceived to be coming back into fashion, I'm delighted by the hate. I'm delighted by the hate because I keep my love in perspective. My suspicion is that if the silver price fell from $25 to say $15, if there was a cataclysmic decline in silver, that I would probably end up having 5, 6, or 7% of my net worth in silver. My target allocation at present is 2.5%. That says a whole bunch of things. The first thing it says is that to the extent I'm wrong, it doesn't change my decision as to what to have for breakfast. But it's such a wonderfully disconnected bet. If I'm right, 2.5% of my portfolio becomes 25% of my portfolio. That's the kind of move that you see particularly in the silver equities when they finally come around to moving. When people ask me when that's going to occur, I'm forced to say neither I nor any other supposed expert has any idea whatsoever. And if that lack of certainty is too unsettling for you, get a job with a post office or something. Do something that you're temperamentally suited to. Probably more so because I don't regard silver as an insurance asset. I own gold. I own gold because I'm afraid it's going to do well. I own gold to preserve my wealth. I own silver as a speculator. I remember the extraordinary move in silver and silver equities in the 1970s. I remember a move in the metal from $1.50 to $50. I remember a move in Coeur d'Alene mines, which sadly I didn't participate in, from $0.10 to $65. Now, granted, that move in the 1970s was the most dramatic in anybody's living memory. Mm-hmm. But the moves that we enjoyed in the early part of the decade of the 90s, not a halcyon time for precious metals, was certainly one for the record books, too. I remember the price of silver going from $4, if my memory serves me correct, back to almost $50 again, but much more dramatically. I remember, and I did participate in a major way, Silver Standard going from 72 cents to $45. Pan American Silver going from 50 cents to plus $40. These are truly extravagant moves. And people who have the financial wherewithal to risk a decline, risk being wrong, and that have the psychological wherewithal to handle the sort of dormant periods where silver doesn't make you anything but costs you a lot. Those people, and I've known, well, I am one, and I've known several, stand to enjoy absolutely life-changing experiences by utilizing a fairly small proportion of their overall portfolio or liquidity. I mean, think about the idea that a fairly young person has with, say, a $100,000 portfolio, and that person allocates only $5,000 to silver, and then they experience the sort of moves that silver has exhibited at least 3 times in my career. That $5,000 becomes $50,000, at least pre-tax. Which is to say somebody experiences a marked change in their portfolio for a fairly small financial allocation. That's why I own silver. I don't, frankly, this is going to sound very arrogant, I frankly don't need the money, but I enjoy the process. Mm-hmm. The vast majority of my estate is going to go to philanthropy. And I intend to leave a lot. Silver will help me.
Rick Rule has guided you through the stars of silver opportunities. Navigate your path to prosperity by subscribing to our channel. If you found this video insightful, give it a thumbs up and share it with your fellow investors. May your journey through the Silver Galaxy be filled with success. Thanks for joining us. Stay tuned, take care, and see you tomorrow.